A massive wildfire is currently burning through the hills outside Reno, Nevada, with zero containment. The Hawk Fire has already consumed over 15,000 acres since igniting Saturday, and nearly 90,000 residents have been ordered to evacuate or prepare to leave. What makes this fire especially dangerous is what's coming next. The National Weather Service in Reno is warning that wind gusts could hit 35 to 40 miles per hour by the middle of this week. Here's everything you need to know right now. It's Monday, August 24th, 2026, and this is your complete update on the fire and weather situation unfolding across northern Nevada. Things are changing fast, so stick with this through to the end. The Hawk Fire broke out Saturday morning near the Hawk Meadow Trail, roughly a mile north of Cold Creek Trail in the Somerset area northwest of Reno. Watch duty had it at just 30 to 40 acres within the first half hour, but immediately flagged a high risk of fast spread. That warning proved accurate. By Saturday night the fire had ballooned past 10,000 acres, and by Sunday it had climbed to 15,000. That kind of growth rate signals exactly what firefighters feared: parched vegetation, bone-dry air, and wind pushing the flames hard. The NWS described it as a highly volatile situation. The fire is centered around Peaving Mountain, just northwest of downtown Reno, a location that puts it in direct contact with residential neighborhoods on nearly every side. It's also burning close enough to the California border that its impact has already crossed state lines. Sierra County, California issued evacuation warnings Saturday for the Verde and Long Valley zones. The fire itself hasn't crossed into California yet, but CAL FIRE crews have been requested, and the governor's office is watching the situation closely. Truckee Meadows Fire Chief Richard Edwards summed it up plainly. This is a wind-driven fire tearing through an urban environment, and fires like this can overwhelm residential areas fast, putting enormous pressure on firefighting crews. As of Sunday night, containment remained at 0%, with close to 1,000 firefighters and emergency personnel working the fire line. Roughly 42,000 people are under a mandatory Leave Now evacuation order. No delays, no exceptions. That zone now stretches to the edge of the University of Nevada, Reno campus, where more than 20,000 students live, many having just moved into dorms this weekend. The university says it plans to stay open Monday. Beyond that mandatory zone, another 45,000 residents are under a get-ready advisory, with officials urging them not to wait until conditions worsen. Leaving early helps keep roads clear for emergency vehicles. Combined, that's about 90,000 people impacted. Within the evacuation boundary sit roughly 13,700 homes. Officials have confirmed structures have burned, though they can't yet provide an exact count. It's still too dangerous to send in damage assessment teams. Updated numbers are expected later today. So far, 6 people have been hurt, 3 residents and 3 firefighters on the front lines. This fire isn't just threatening homes. Northwest Specialty Hospital began moving patients out Sunday after falling inside the warning zone, and the emergency room at North Valleys, north of Reno, had to close temporarily. At least 2 medical facilities have evacuated patients due to how quickly the fire has spread. Meanwhile, nearly 10,000 homes and businesses across Washoe County are without power. NV Energy has an outage map available for anyone checking on their area. U.S. Route 395, the main north-south highway through the region, has partial closures. Northbound lanes are shut at Parr Boulevard, while southbound lanes remain open specifically to keep evacuation traffic moving. That stretch from Red Rock Road down into Reno is your main way out. If you're heading north near Border Town, you'll be turned back before reaching White Lake, so plan accordingly. Nevada Highway Patrol is directing traffic in the area, and officials are asking everyone to follow their instructions exactly. Reno Stead Airport is closed to general aviation but remains active for firefighting aircraft and military helicopters. Reno Tahoe International, the region's main commercial airport, sits outside the evacuation zone and is operating normally. Evacuees can go to the Reno Sparks Convention Center at 4590 South Virginia Street, which is currently sheltering around 465 people, with another 200 waiting in their vehicles outside. The Evelyn Mulrooney Northeast Community Center shelter is already full. Do not head there. For large animals and livestock, the Ironwood Event Center in Palomino Valley is accepting them. A number of Reno casinos are also offering discounted rooms for people displaced by the fire. Investigators confirmed Sunday afternoon that the Hawk Fire was human-caused. They haven't said whether it was deliberate or accidental, and the investigation is still active. More details are expected soon. What's clear is that once it started, Conditions on the ground let it explode. Strong winds, extremely low humidity, and vegetation left tinder dry after a hot Nevada summer. This is also the third major wildfire to hit northern Nevada in just 3 weeks. The bug fire ignited August 8, not far from where the hawk fire is now burning, scorching 94,000 acres and currently sitting at 94% containment. The stallion fire burned 40,000 acres and is 98% contained. Between the exhausted landscape, worn-down crews, and now this new fire, northern Nevada is under serious strain, and nationally this year, 2026, more than 7.7 million acres have burned across the United States. That's the highest year-to-date total in more than 10 years, according to the National Interagency Fire Center. So this isn't just a local emergency, it's a snapshot of a fire season that has hit historic levels across the entire American West. Now to the part that matters most for what happens next, the forecast. Weather is the single biggest variable in whether this fire keeps growing or crews finally catch a break, and the outlook over the next several days isn't encouraging for containment efforts. Let's walk through what's expected, starting with today, Monday, August 24th, and moving through the week. This morning, winds are noticeably calmer than they were over the weekend, but that's expected to shift by this afternoon. According to NWS Reno's most recent area forecast discussion, west winds are forecast to gust up to 25 miles per hour along the Sierra front this afternoon, which is precisely where the hawk fire is currently burning. Combine that with low humidity and warm afternoon temperatures, and conditions are set to become more volatile again today. NWS Reno's fire weather section specifically flags elevated fire weather concerns for the Sierra front. One important clarification: as of the latest forecast discussion, there is no formal red flag warning in effect for Nevada right now. The language being used is elevated to locally critical fire weather, a real concern, but a step below an official warning. There's also a chance of scattered showers and thunderstorms today, mainly across northern Washoe County and into northeastern California. That might sound like good news, but NWS is actually treating it as a separate risk. Their forecast specifically warns that lightning from these storms could spark new fires, since a storm that produces lightning without meaningful rainfall reaching the ground, known as a dry thunderstorm, can ignite dry terrain instead of helping it. Storm chances today are estimated at 15 to 30% across the affected counties. Looking ahead to Tuesday, August 26th, this is where the forecast turns more serious. A Pacific Northwest upper-level low tracking toward British Columbia will strengthen the pressure gradient across the region, and that gradient is what's expected to drive stronger winds Tuesday through Thursday across northern Nevada. NWS Reno's model guidance shows a 50 to 80% chance of gusts exceeding 30 miles per hour across parts of northeastern California and northwestern Nevada, with the Sierra front specifically in that window Wednesday and Thursday. Gusts could reach 35 miles per hour and up to 40 miles per hour in what NWS classifies as wind-prone terrain, though that 40 miles per hour figure represents a potential maximum in specific exposed corridors, not a blanket forecast for the whole region. Here's the key nuance worth getting right. NWS Reno is not currently forecasting widespread critical fire weather for the week. Their language remains elevated to locally critical, meaningful, but distinct from a region-wide emergency designation. The Storm Prediction Center's fire weather outlook supports that same framing, putting the Sierra front at a 40% chance of critical fire weather conditions Tuesday through Thursday. That's still significant. On an active 15,000 acre fire with zero containment, even localized wind increases are a serious problem. Wind direction can also shift and push flames into areas that haven't burned yet. We saw that happen over the weekend as conditions changed. That unpredictability is especially dangerous for aerial firefighting and makes it much harder for ground crews to be positioned safely. The Nevada National Guard currently has a CH-47 Chinook and a UH-60 Black Hawk conducting aerial water drops on the fire. But high winds can force those aircraft to stand down temporarily, which takes away one of the most effective tools crews have. Overnight humidity recovery near the fire is only running about 35 to 45%, according to NWS's fire weather outlook, and that's not enough recovery to fully calm fire behavior overnight. NWS has specifically noted this could allow the fire to keep actively burning even after dark, rather than settling down as it typically would. So when does this actually get under control? Looking at the extended forecast, winds are expected to gradually ease by this coming weekend, with a chance of scattered showers and thunderstorms arriving near Reno Sparks later in the week. This wouldn't be a significant rain event, just isolated shower activity that could offer some modest humidity relief. Realistically, Tuesday through Thursday is the toughest stretch for containment this week. Any real progress crews can make before that wind window arrives would be a genuinely good sign. Now let's talk about air quality, because even people outside the evacuation zone are affected by this fire. NWS Reno's forecast discussion specifically calls out smoke from the Hawk Fire as a growing concern for the greater Reno Sparks area. Their smoke modeling shows near-surface smoke concentrations increasing through this afternoon and evening. Wildfire smoke carries fine particulate matter, PM2.5, small enough to get deep into your lungs. NWS is warning of reduced visibility and rising AQI, or air quality index, values as a result. If you're in the area, check airnow.gov before heading outside today. If your local AQI climbs above 150, want me to keep going with the rest of that air quality guidance? The unhealthy threshold. Outdoor exposure should be limited, especially for kids and older adults. Keep your windows closed, and if your HVAC has a recirculate setting, use it instead of pulling in outside air. If you have to be outside, an N95 mask offers real protection. NWS Reno also notes patchy smoke is possible across parts of the Nevada basin and range through tonight, and this isn't limited to the evacuation zone. Communities like Sparks, Carson City, and the Lake Tahoe Basin are all monitoring air quality right now. Smoke travels far beyond the fire itself, and the plume is already reaching areas well outside the immediate danger zone. NWS aviation guidance also points to reduced visibility from smoke at Reno International later tonight into Monday morning, so if you've got a flight in or out during that window, check with your airline for possible delays. Let's recap the key numbers so everything's clear as we wrap up. The Hawk Fire has burned more than 15,000 acres and remains at 0% containment. The cause is confirmed human-related, but the investigation is still active. 42,000 people are under a mandatory leave now order, with another 45,000 in a get-ready warning zone. Structures have been destroyed, though an exact count is still pending. Damage assessment teams will move in once it's safe. 6 injuries have been reported, 3 civilians and 3 firefighters. No fatalities have been confirmed as of this update. About 10,000 homes and businesses in Washoe County are without power. Check NV Energy's outage map for updates. US 395 northbound remains closed at Parr Boulevard, while southbound lanes stay open for evacuation traffic. Follow all posted emergency signage. On weather, NWS is forecasting gusts up to 25 miles per hour today, with the potential for 35 miles per hour gusts, Tuesday through Thursday. No formal red flag warning is currently in effect for Nevada, though NWS continues to flag elevated fire weather concerns for the Sierra Front. No significant rainfall relief is expected before the weekend, but winds should gradually ease heading into next week. Here's my message to anyone in Washoe County right now. If you've been told to evacuate, do it, now. As the mayor put it plainly this weekend, your life matters more than any building. She's right. Don't go back for belongings. Don't ignore the warnings. Don't put first responders in danger trying to protect property. The Washoe County Sheriff's Office is actively enforcing these evacuation orders. This isn't a suggestion, it's a legal directive. If you need help evacuating, whether it's pets, a mobility issue, or no vehicle, contact Washoe County Emergency Management right away. For real-time updates, follow Truckee Meadows Fire and Rescue, the Washoe County Sheriff's Office, and the Nevada Division of Emergency Management. They're the most reliable sources as this situation develops. I'll keep updating as long as this fire remains an active threat, possibly more than once a day. Conditions are changing quickly, and some of what's in this video may already be outdated by the time you're watching it. That's simply the nature of a fast-moving wildfire emergency, and it's exactly why staying connected to official channels matters so much. If this was helpful, consider liking, subscribing, and turning on notifications so you don't miss the next update. Thousands of people are displaced tonight, and hundreds of firefighters are out there working the line. If you know anyone in northern Nevada, or with family in the Reno or Washoe County area, share this with them. They deserve accurate information to make safe decisions. Our thoughts are with every family who's had to leave their home because of this fire. And to every firefighter, EMT, law enforcement officer, and National Guard member out there right now, thank you. I'll be back soon with the next full update on the Hawk Fire.